They rigged the election. I didn't rig the election. They rigged the election. What they do is they rig the election and then they go around getting people and persecuting people and prosecuting people that did nothing wrong.
I see one of the big stories this week continues to be the fallout from Trump's disastrous Madison Square Garden rally, where one of the speakers called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well,
Eric and Don Jr. would know how to handle jokes, but I guess not.
Trump's driving a garbage truck of grievances through the streets, and it's all because of a burger joke. You heard that right. The former president of the United States is having a meltdown over fast food humor. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. But here's the kicker. The more Trump rages, the funnier it gets. It's a comedy domino effect, and everyone from late night hosts to pop stars is joining in. Buckle up, folks. This video is going to be a wild ride. Jimmy Kimmel's been poking fun at Trump for years, but our orange friend usually just brushes it off like dandruff on his ill-fitting suit. This time, though, Kimmel hit a nerve so raw you'd think he'd found Trump's tax returns. So what was the joke that made Trump's comb-over stand on end? Kimmel quipped, "I bet Melania wishes she could trade places with those burgers. At least they only have to deal with Trump's hands for a few seconds." Ouch.
For 60 days prior to an election, the Department of Injustice is supposed to do absolutely nothing that would taint or interfere with said election.
I see one of the big stories this week continues to be the fallout from Trump's disastrous Madison Square Garden rally, where one of the speakers called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well,
the case is a scam. Trump is what, 78 years old? You think he knows he can double tap the shift button on his phone?
I'm being told he was dressed as a garbage man? And that I knew that. Okay.
The audience gasped and laughed, but you could almost hear Trump's blood pressure rising from Mar-a-Lago. Picture it, Trump's face getting redder with each word, like a tomato left out in the sun. By the time Kimmel finished, our former president probably looked like a traffic light stuck on stop. But Trump couldn't stop himself from tweeting. He fired off a barrage of angry posts, calling Kimmel a failing comedian with ratings in the toilet. Grumpy Trumpy even labeled Kimmel a total loser and a third-rate comedian who has lost his way. Talk about the pot calling the kettle orange. As if that wasn't enough, Trump threatened to sue Kimmel, claiming the jokes were fake news, because nothing says I can take a joke like threatening legal action over a burger gag, right? But wait, folks, it gets better.
They rigged the election. I didn't rig the election. They rigged the election. What they do is they rig the election and then they go around getting people and persecuting people and prosecuting people that did nothing wrong.
Standing next to me, smiling and waving, and definitely not J.D. Vance dressed up as a gopher.
I control the weather. They would have made sure a house landed directly on you, you demented, and failed to rig the election. He's a rignoramus is what he is.
Trump's meltdown reached its greasy, fast food-fueled peak when he decided to make a statement. Did he call a press conference? Nope. Write a strongly worded letter? Nah. Our boy Donnie Diapers rented a garbage truck, slapped his name on it, and drove it around town. Picture Trump squeezed into a sanitation worker's safety vest, looking about as comfortable as a cat in a bathtub. He was probably hoping to take out the trash, but instead he just looked like trash taking itself out. Of course, other comedians couldn't resist piling on. Stephen Colbert joked that Trump was finally taking his work home with him, while Seth Meyers quipped that when your presidency is garbage, you might as well embrace it. So there you have it, folks. A simple burger joke snowballed into a full-blown dumpster fire, with Trump at the wheel of a garbage truck. And as the smell of burning trash and wounded ego filled the air, comedians across the land sharpened their wits, ready to roast our favorite orange turd even more. Just when Trump thought he could catch a break from Kimmel's burger jokes, Bill Maher stepped into the comedy ring with some zingers of his own. Maher, known for his biting political humor and no-holds-barred approach, decided to take a swing at the Trump-Melania relationship. And boy, did he land some punches. Maher suggested Melania should channel her inner Taylor Swift, joking, "Your unhappiness is obvious. Just tell him I'm leaving you and I'm taking our child." Ouch, that's gotta sting more than Trump's spray tan gone wrong. But Maher wasn't done yet. He took another jab at Melania's marriage, quipping, "I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money." Talk about a gold digger burn. But the real kicker came when Maher speculated about the chaos that would ensue if Melania left Trump. He said, imagine how nuts he would go if he had to see her in the press all the time. Now that's a reality show we'd all tune in to watch. Trump supporters were not amused, calling Maher's jokes disrespectful and crossing the line. But critics and comedians alike were loving it, sharing and retweeting the jokes faster than Trump can scarf down a Big Mac. A poll showed that 55% of people found the jokes funny, while 30% thought they were inappropriate. Looks like laughter is winning over love for the Donald. As the comedy snowball kept rolling, it picked up some unexpected passengers along the way. Latino celebrities decided to join the roast, turning it into a full-blown fiesta of Trump takedowns. Bad Bunny, probably inspired by Trump's garbage can comments about America, rallied his fans to use their voices and votes. Meanwhile, J-Lo expressed her disappointment in Trump's remarks, probably wondering how anyone could trash talk the country that gave us both democracy and the Macarena.
They rigged the election. The election was rigged. I didn't rig it. They did.
He's actually right about some of that. He didn't rig the election. He tried to rig the election.
I bet seeing Jill in that panda costume gave Trump an idea. This is definitely my loving wife, Melania.
They rigged the election.
The old he who smelt it dealt it defense. Eric and Don Jr. would know how to handle jokes, but I guess not. The only...
I understand you didn't mean everybody, just the guy who said the one thing, but yeah. Okay, and if there are any aides of his watching right now?
The teleprompter just went out.
These Latino celebs weren't just throwing shade, they were lighting a fire under their fans' butts to get politically engaged. Bad Bunny and J-Lo used their star power to encourage voter mobilization and awareness. Looks like Trump's trash talk might just lead to a cleanup at the ballot box. What started as a simple burger joke has now turned into a full-course meal of political comedy, with everyone from late-night hosts to pop stars taking a bite out of Trump. It's like a roast dinner where Trump is both the guest of honor and the main course. And judging by the reactions, America is eating it up. Well, folks, who knew a burger joke could cause such a juicy scandal? From Kimmel's grill to Trump's garbage truck, this comedy snowball rolled downhill faster than a ketchup-covered patty. It's like the whole country decided to throw a roast, and Trump was the main course. But here's the real meat of the matter. Comedy's got some serious power. It's not just about getting laughs. It's about uniting people against big orange targets. When everyone's chuckling at the same joke, suddenly those very stable geniuses don't seem so stable anymore. Political satire isn't just funny business. It's holding our leaders' feet to the fire, one punchline at a time. It's making it harder for them to keep a straight face while they're trying to pull a fast one on us. So what's next for our favorite ex-president? Maybe he'll swap that red tie for a garbage man's uniform. After all, he's already got experience taking out the trash. Just look at his cabinet picks.